Hi, Lewis Black here, and I'm at the Four Winds Casino Event Center, and where apparently I've been quarantined. No, I'm kidding. We've just did our last show here yesterday, and we were supposed to work tonight in Glen Ellen in Illinois at the College of DuPage, and that was closed. So I thought since there's a gaping hole without sports and a lot of other things going on, that I would throw out some of the rants that would have been read this evening after the show and put together a little entertainment for you and for the folks who are sitting here behind me. And God, are they having fun. Whew. All righty, I'm going to go ahead with this. And this is from Tom Sullivan. What the fuck am I doing risking infection in a mass gathering to see your show in Glen Ellen on Saturday? Well, you're not, Tom. Why? Because I care about you. I'm nearly 60, Tom goes on to say, and it better be fucking good. Wait, you're risking your life also. Well, never mind. When does the Lewis Black hand sanitizer come out? You know, Tom, I wish I'd fucking thought of that, okay? That would be like Bitcoin at this point. Son of a bitch. But thanks for writing in, and I'm sorry. We'll be coming back to Glen Ellen. And hopefully it'll be a bigger and better show by then. We're going to edit what I'm saying right now, Tom, because I don't know what I'm saying, okay? Because I'm doing this in the morning, and that's an important thing that you also should know. And I don't work well in the morning, okay? It should be 11 o'clock at night, but it's not. I'm not a morning person. Stop bothering me, Tom. This is from P.C. Schmidt. Dear Lewis, welcome to Illinois. Did you know we have recreational pot now? Well, we don't. 72 hours after our friend Mary was legalized, Illinois ran out of this shit. Not just for recreational users, but for medicinal users too. What the fuck? Here's a message for all those recreational users. Breathe in deep and know you brought so much goddamn pot. People are suffering. What the hell were politicians thinking when they legalized pot before there were enough farms? They were thinking about how bad people were craving cannabis and how willing they'd be to pay 25% tax on it. 25%. Medicinal users only pay a 7% tax. So fuck them. Lewis, I'm a kind-hearted, forgiving, introspective person. When I have my pot, fuck. From Mel Wythe, coronavirus is driving us nuts. I just put on a Cubs jersey knowing I won't catch anything. Teresa Mazur, or Mazer, what the fuck is going on with toilet paper? Is there a new black market? I work inside a Target at the CVS. It's hell within a shithole. And people are losing their fucking minds. Rubbing alcohol, aloe, Lysol, Clorox wipes, face masks, gloves, elderberry, thermometers, and tons of toilet paper. I'm desperately trying to count pills for the poor suckers locked into CVS insurance. And every 10 seconds, some asshat asks for one of the above. We have 4 signs that state that the store is out of all of them. We do not work for the store. I don't even want to interact with you at all. Okay? When I do offer to call a Target employee, I am told, no, I don't want to bother them. I am counting 270 pills for the 4th time. But you won't bother Junior, who's hitting on the cosmetics girl? Fuck you. Fuck off. Just fuck it. Pull your head out of your ass. Look around before you come bother me. More importantly, ask an actual employee of the fucking store. Fuck it! I, I can't imagine working in a CVS, in a Target. That's like, that's like being a tumor inside a tumor. James Riley. This is the one I was going to actually read the other night in Elgin. It's Jim from Hanover Park. The last time I'd seen your show in person was on my birthday, when you were in Chicago back in October of 2018. I'm in attendance tonight since you were a short drive from where I live, which certainly beats having to take over an hour-long train ride followed by another half-hour hike from the station to the theater. And yeah, I could have called a cab, but being that I stand at around 6 feet 9 inches tall, I wasn't about to cram my Titanic ass into a fucking sardine can on wheels, but I digress. I figured I would try my hand at sending in a rant as I am what some people might call a millennial. Honestly, I couldn't care less about that fucking title because the only thing apt about that description, in my opinion, is the year range suggesting how old I am. And I agree with you, James. It has become increasingly apparent to me that to have an opinion on fucking anything gets you pegged as a bleeding heart liberal or godforsaken conservative. It's gotten to the fucking point, or even beyond it, that you can't even have a conversation on a topic without it becoming toxic to some absurd fucking level. Having a viewpoint on what a sane person might consider the least offensive thing, such as whether to cut a grilled cheese sandwich with diagonals or not, or even to cut the crust off altogether, seems to come with the consequence usually reserved for that of the criminally fucking insane. And to think when I was a kid that my teachers and guidance counselors thought I had ADHD or ADD or some fuck shit. One thing that I've taken notice of in the last few years is an increase in the use of the term snowflake, whether it be used to describe an easily pissed off liberal or an offended conservative, or whichever pairing you prefer. I've been seeing it used with increasing regularity, especially on social media, as though it were a God for fucking sake racial slur. Are you fucking kidding me? For those who may not know, a snowflake is frozen water that falls in a tiny crystalline pattern from the sky and is typically found only when it's cold, such as in the winter. If I'm supposed to be afflicted by ADD, then what? I ask you, does the jagoff who came up with this apt fucking description fucking suffer from to make the comparison between an offended group of people and a weather phenomenon? I'm left wondering, if we have all this extra energy to find new and frankly creative ways to insult one another, then perhaps we can take this group of energetic, creative offenders and harness that energy in some way. Perhaps stick them in a turbine made to look like a giant fucking hamster wheel and make them run so they will be tired, so too tired to even be bothered being angry with the fact that their bait, a grilled cheese sandwich, isn't cut the right fucking way. That way we can have an alternative source of energy while trying to cut back on the number of jagoffs that are in abundance out there. But perhaps this is too much to hope for, as simply more of these fucks will rear their ugly heads. Good thing that alcohol is plentiful and ready available in downtown Elgin and in Chicago. So I guess it isn't all that bad. From Dawn Narlock. After your show in Elgin yesterday, I decided to go to one of the largest grocery chain stores in Illinois called Woodman's, figuring no one would be there that late. And they're open 24/7. Well, they were closed apparently to replenish the shelves of all things. Toilet paper! Well, I went back in this morning because now we really do need more because husband has to work from home, for the rest of the month, high schoolers home because it's closed for a while, college student being sent home, and a son who isn't getting much work these days in HVAC. So I'm not buying out of a panic. No, it's because we have more asses at home all day to wipe. The irony is the store did set limits on toilet paper per family. And the only brand available is called Panda. At least it's two-ply. This is from B.J. Terry. I was in Virginia Beach, and I was doing the Rant there, and some woman started screaming out some stuff, and I wasn't exactly sure what she was screaming about. And Mr. Terry, or BJ, I guess as he likes to call himself, wrote in the following. I just watched a Rant from Virginia Beach, and that shithead woman who felt like she had to set some record straight screaming out, "Look, asshole, you're not supposed to agree with everything. That's what makes it funny!" Someone should always be somewhat uncomfortable, or it sucks. If you can't be in that moment without always correcting a comedian, then you have no business there, and you are an asshole. Let me share some of the most cringe-worthy moments I've ever experienced, which are the funniest moments I've ever had. I had issues with handling stress issues until 2013, when I went to a counselor and found out I had adult ADHD. I was 49. Took the meds and further counseling, and shit, I could actually think for myself and deal. And that was a good thing, because 3 months later, my wife, who had put up with my shit for 25 years and had finally begun to enjoy my new outlook, she contracted bacterial meningitis and then has continued to have headaches and seizure issues. Now I needed to handle the emotional shit. That's some funny-ass payback. Another, even more uncomfortable but hilarious moment, my brother-in-law was in the hospital dying of cancer. His best friend came to him to tell him the motor to the race car they had been building for 2 years was completed. My brother-in-law asked, how much did it cost? And after dodging the question a few times, his friend said nothing. The mechanic did it for free. My brother-in-law was quiet and then said, damn. I would have told people I was dying before if it got me shit for free. That's a memory I will laugh at forever. And I don't give a shit. It's funny, and he would want me to laugh. Assholes that can't embrace the uncomfortableness and get the fucking joke, at least sit there and shut the hell up so that others can. I like not agreeing with every word someone says, because then I may learn something. But you have to actually shut up to hear it. This is from Heather Homburg. I'm only reading half of it. And you know, I've been driving around a lot because I'm no longer using half and half in my coffee. Completely cut dairy out of my diet. And I've spent like $60 on trying non-dairy creamers. None of them fucking work. Bullshit almond and coconut milk is not gonna do it for me. And then I found one plant-based creamer with a hint of vanilla in it. It worked. And you know what? The company discontinued it 2 fucking weeks after I found it. I emailed the company, and guess what? They're making one version of the creamer, and it's at one grocery store chain in Arizona. I now have to add my own vanilla. So now I drive all over the fucking place trying to find this creamer, running from store to store while we're ramping up from an epidemic to a pandemic, trying to do social distancing with a bunch of yahoos who don't watch the fucking news. It went from the goddamn fucking white thing to the, oh, look, now I'm gonna make it big for you. I didn't touch it. I didn't do shit with it. Apple, I'm so fucking tired of when you decide shit should happen. Fuck you. Oh, people are going to work in China today. Oh, yes, they are. In the United States, we're shutting all the stores. And in the meantime, Lou's going to be doing some rants in front of nobody. So why don't we fuck with his pad? God damn it. There was no reason for that. And I'm sorry, Heather. I will now do this part again. We'll try to edit together. We'll do it with Scotch tape. Apple will send us some Scotch tape from China. Now I drive all over the fucking place to find this creamer, running from store to store, while we're ramping up from an epidemic to a pandemic, trying to do social distancing with a bunch of yahoos who don't watch the fucking news and sneeze without covering their faces. And the creamer is fucking sold out. Just about everywhere I go. It's harder to get than hand sanitizer and toilet paper. Fuck! And then in one of the most spectacular things I've ever received in any rant, in parentheses, after the fuck, which is in capital letters, in parentheses it says, add if necessary. Wow, Heather, that was special. Wow, that's good. Yeah, if necessary. I would have read it just for that. And this will be the last one, because we're going to drive back to, oh, you fucking piece of shit. We're going to drive back to the airport, dropping some people off who still have immune systems, and then I'm going to drive into New York City unless that escape from New York has become real. This is from Layla Robbins. She sent in a really wonderful rant a few weeks ago from Williamsport. I was at your Williamsport show last week. I'm the mom that ranted about her 17-year-old daughter. I shared that story with you and the world because the absurdity of raising a teenager is great for a laugh. I love laughing. Your show for a couple of hours united an entire community in a country that is so tragically torn. That's such a beautiful and commendable thing. I can't thank you enough for it. So imagine my surprise when I went to YouTube the day after the show and saw so many negative comments, particularly about my daughter and me as a parent. Louis, what the fuck? I had no idea that YouTube was filled with so many psychiatrists and parenting specialists. Holy shit. Had I known you attracted that caliber of an audience, I might have used some bigger words for them in my rant. I don't know how you do it, to know that people are going to bitch and moan when all you're trying to do is make them smile. I want to thank you. Thank you for making me laugh and forget about my worries, even if only for a moment. You and others that do that, do what you do, are a gift to the people that we don't deserve. And to the doctors on YouTube that have nothing better to do than critique my family, why don't you ingest a satchel of Richards? I'd like you to think about that for a minute, because it took me a second to figure it out. Richards. Nicely put, Layla. If you know what color these seats are, please send in your guess. We'll get you a T-shirt if you're right. But I don't even know what that, it's not gold, it's not. It could be bronze. Someday they'll all have seats like in the back, like theater seating. This came from Dave Walker. Dear Louis, a couple of weeks back, a mom attending your show had a rant about her cock-blocking 17-year-old daughter, who spitted disgust at her mom for coming to your show and then retiring to a nearby hotel for a, Lord Jesus forbid, sex date with her husband. Ew! I share that mom's pain, but her rant is but one small example of what miserable fucks our kids are. And I don't just mean our kids. My wife and I are imprisoned with a 16-year-old girl and twin boys who are 14. I mean, what miserable little fucks all children are. Let's start with what relentlessly shitty roommates kids are. Their rooms are war zones, where dirty clothes lie around like gut-shot corpses, where half-full cans of flat Dr. Pepper tip over, weeping dejectedly, where ungodly adolescent funks crossbreed with their foul-ass teenage mood swings, where stains appear and darken in every corner of what the fuck were we thinking? Cream-colored carpet? Sure, you can close your door. Sure, you can close their door, but then they come out. They come out and squat in your kitchen and gorge on your food and piss all over your bathroom floors like they put Mentos in a Coke. They steal your phone cords and swipe your clothes and drop to the floor every fucking thing they touch, turning your house into an episode of Hoarders. Spare me the self-righteous adolescent save the earth lecturing. I'll settle with save our fucking living room. Yeah, and speaking of save the earth for our generation, you ungrateful little pricks, dispense with my mom and dad are real green blind assholes for driving an SUV. Would that be the same SUV that Ubers 40 of your besties to Starbucks on a daily expedition to collect future cup holder experiments in chai latte decomposition? That same mobile lab that conducts backseat studies on the half-life of McDonald's fries, or the separation rate of organic plastics in a shamrock shake, or the asexual reproduction process of straw wrappers, the white paper worms that live and grow and multiply at the lip of this boiling geyser of trash? That SUV! Oh, you didn't hear me. How could you? The great and powerful YouTube is speaking. Shh, Mom and Dad, your voice is but a pale whisper beneath the mighty winds of James Charles, Mr. Beast, and Little Yachty. I don't even know who Little Yachty is. I am so disconnected from some parts of this world. Is it Yachty or is it Yachty? It's probably Yachty. It's spelled Yachty. Who would call themselves Little Yachty? He's probably somebody saying things that I should know about. And lastly, fuck kids and their black hole of money. Yeah, I said it. And I'm not talking about the great sucking sound of grocery bills and mortgages and tuitions and braces and all the rest of the shit we sign up for with every successful squirt and wiggle. I'm talking about the millions of must-have incidentals like Birchbox subscriptions and Fortnite skins and Yeezys and AirPods and Yeti cups and every other bullshit indulgence that the lemmings are running off the cliff to get. The bullshit that every other parent feels biblically obliged to provide their little additions to the gaping maw of consumerism. If Abraham had laid Isaac on the stone altar today, he'd hear God say, get him an iPhone. So to that cock-blocked mom, I say, get a good fuck in every blue moon chance you get. I know I intend to tonight. I guess I'd rather open my wallet for a pair of tickets in a hotel room than open my mouth to nag those beautiful, beautiful little pricks. Well, that's what I got. I'd like to thank everybody who sent in all of the rants that I've been getting. We'll be doing more when we hit the road again. We'll be doing some from the bus. We'll be doing audio-wise and otherwise, because I have tons of them. And I really appreciate the level of the writing and everything else that you've got to say. It really is, it's extraordinary. And what I like about it, for those of you who are bitching and moaning, and how come you didn't do this, and click, 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 all I have to say is that I think that at times it's better for me to read something that actually is happening to people and not something that I have to fucking make up on my own and then put into a joke. A lot of the times I got things to say, but a lot of the times folks have better things to say about things that I don't really know about in actuality or reality or whatever it is we're living through now, because it's a hard guess, isn't it? Boy, it's at times like these that I'm really glad that I took drugs in my youth. It didn't really totally prepare me, but I feel like it opened my vision up a little so I can handle some of the, when you're looking at it, at the end it's going, at the edge of your vision. I mean, I don't know if you've experienced that, but it kind of goes, I do. And now I feel like everybody is. And I'm just a little more comfortable with it at times, And then sometimes it makes me take a nap. We're going to hit the road now. We'll see you soon. We want to thank the Four Winds for allowing us to use this space, and I want to thank everyone who showed up tonight, because look at that crowd. You're never going to see anything quite like this again. Nope, this room will be full again soon. Okay, take care. Safe travels.